Last week it was National Coming Out Day, and as I read people's coming out stories on Reddit or Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, seeing people come out or seeing others tell their stories of how they came out or if they're even out, being a queer POC woman, it made me realize that homophobia has stopped our queer community from living their lives they deserve for years. Like when it comes to straight people, by the time they're kissing and having sex, having relationships, holding hands, being able to love somebody fully, publicly, no judgment, you see these things happening when a person's a teen. And then a lot of the times when you hear a queer person's story, you hear that they started later on in life. Oh, I didn't have my first kiss with the gender I wanted to have it with until I was 18, I was 20, I was 25. I wasn't able to come out until I was 30, 40, or I'm still in the closet. And I was thinking about how important and how beautiful and how unnecessary it should be to have National Coming Out Day. It's important because it's a day where a lot of us queer folks, we feel so safe, we feel so proud to be gay. And for a lot of us on that day, it's like, fuck it. It's National Coming Out Day. I'm going to tell my family, I'm going to tell my friends, I'm going to tell whoever needs to hear I'm gay, I'm queer, I'm whatever, because this is me. For a lot of us queer people, when National Coming Out Day comes, we get so sad and we get so depressed and we cry and almost want to become suicidal because you think about all the queer people out there that are still in the closet, that still don't have the ability to love who they love, to kiss, to have a relationship, to spend the times of their day they want with people they want to love. Some might be in down low relationships where they cover it up with a woman or with a man that they don't truly care about. And they live their lives with that person because of the environment, maybe the religion they're in, the toxic family they're in, the fear within themselves, the self-hatred within themselves. And so you think about how a straight person can just live their lives not thinking about that. Not thinking about, oh, is mom and dad going to accept my girlfriend? Is mom and dad going to question that I kissed the girl or that I kissed the guys? Mom and dad are going to look at me crazy if I invite them over for dinner, for holiday, or if we spend too much time together. But when it comes to being queer, it's like, I have to make up a story. We're roommates, we're friends, we're buddies. You have to lie. The saddest thing about it is you have to lie to the people you love the most, you care about the most, and say, hey, I am completely everything you want me to be, and knowing you're not. And then because you're doing that, you have to make yourself think in your mind there's something wrong with yourself. Because you can't display to your parents, your friends, your community that you're queer. And you would think, living in the age we live now, the progressiveness we have had, that this shouldn't be a problem. That you can literally walk around and be openly gay and be openly queer, and you can't. There's so many kids, adults, trapped within inside their bodies thinking, I'm never going to be able to be me. I'm never going to be able to kiss a girl, to kiss a guy, to hold them like I want to. I would never have anything more than a platonic relationship with the next gender because of that fear that society makes us ingrain inside of us, that it's wrong and that you're going to hell, or you're nasty, or you got HIV if you're this, or you're a pedophile if you identify as this. And it's like, why can't we just live our lives as if we're straight? Why can't we not be questioned if we're not straight? Why do you need to know what I do behind closed doors, under my sheets? Why does it care? Why does it matter? And for generations, for centuries of just underlying homophobia that rests inside of this earth. People walk around afraid and scared. Imagine you're 13, you're 14, you're 15, the time of your lives where you're discovering sexuality, you're discovering yourself. Hello, you're discovering yourself. You're discovering if you want to be a tomboy, or if you want to be a girl, or if you want to be feminine, or if you want to be masculine. You're discovering if you want, what type of sports you want to play, what type of friend group you want to have. Who do you like? Who you don't like? And during that time, your hormones and your testosterone is so high that kids are so judgmental. And so imagine you're a 14-year-old kid and you find out, man, I actually like my best friend. And my best friend is a boy and I'm a guy. And I know because of commercials. I know because of how my parents talk around the house. Because of how society treats these people. I know I can never openly look at my friend and tell him I like him. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to a point in my life where I can openly look at a man and say I like him. So let me go over to Sarah and pretend like I like her and start a relationship with her and be friends with her, because no one's going to question it. No one's going to bat an eye. I've seen, when I tell you I can count on more than 3 hands, how many men have grown up their entire lives knowing they were queer, knowing they were full-blown gay, and they married women, they had children with them, and not until their 50s, not until their 60s, their 70s, did they decide to actually truly live their lives, truly be themselves. Imagine waiting until 50, 60, 70 years old to love the same gender, to actually live the life you want to live. Imagine 70 years of knowing you're something and you live an entire life of not being that. Even though we have progressed when it has come to same-sex marriages, same-sex relationships, LGBTQIA community, we have to call it ace of spade. Even though these times are better than what it was before, there's still not enough safe spaces for queer people. It's still not enough safe spaces for kids to be able to come out to be who they want to be. We've seen this happen with Zaya Wade. She's come out as transgender. Gorgeous human being. And her parents did exactly what a parent was supposed to do. And that was stand behind your child, to love your child, to coddle her, to make her feel safe. And all her parents did was tell the world about their transgender daughter and say how much they support her. To this day, Zaya Wade gets death threats, gets cussed out, gets called derogatory names, and she's a child. She has the privilege of living as a female at her age that a lot of transgender people don't get to experience until they're damn near in their 20s, 30s, 40s. She has the privilege of walking around and using she, her, wearing dresses, wearing ponytails, wearing braids or necklaces or whatever you might wear as a young girl, and get to live within her true identity. That is the most beautiful thing anybody can ask for. I don't want to talk about her age. I don't want to talk about the controversy behind it. I want to talk about the beauty of truly being able to live within yourself and not have your parents not hate you, not have your friends not judge you, not have yourself feel as if you're less than or unworthy. For me, I've never said this, but This means a lot to me because for me personally, I was outed. I didn't have the privilege of sitting down at the time that I wanted to. At the time I felt safest. I felt ready to look at my parents and say, hey, mom and dad, I'm queer. I sadly got a call explaining that somebody told them and they accepted me. The most beautiful thing about that situation is that at the end, they accepted me. But what extremely bothered me was that I couldn't have told them. And they learned at a time when I didn't want them to know. And so if you know that somebody is queer, if you know somebody is gay, make them feel safe, make them feel loved, make them feel heard. Make them know that it's okay to be who they are in their skin. And if you know they are gay and they aren't out, do not out them. Do not tell anybody. If that person trusts you, and I cannot reiterate this enough, if that person trusts you to hold the information of being a part of the LGBTQ community, you hold that with your heart. You hold that with every fiber being in your body, and you don't let that go because you don't understand how tough it was for that person to let you know they were queer. You don't understand how many times that person has ran that conversation through their head to know for themselves if they should tell you or not. You don't know the emotional roller coaster that person put themselves through and thinking they was going to lose a friend by telling you. So if you are in a situation where you know your friend, your family member, or whoever is gay, hold it and love them in private, and then hold their hand when they come to you and say, I'm ready to come public with it. Because that's important. It's not only important that we make more safe spaces so more of our queer teens and adults can come out, but it's also important to make those safe spaces for people that are out, know that they won't be outed by the people around them that know and love. A lot of y'all, hell, and even to this day, I feel like the person that outed me, I feel like it was a blessing. Because to this day, I probably still would be in the closet. I probably still wouldn't have known if my parents would have been supportive. Even though I was mad and I was crying, I'm happy that I was blessed enough to be put in a scenario where my family decided to hold me down instead of ostracize me. I know not everybody has that blessing, that love, that courage. But please know, if you're still in the closet, you are loved. Take your time. There's no rush. There's nothing wrong of you. Don't make yourself think in your mind that you shouldn't be this way. You shouldn't act this way. That you're dysfunctional. You are absolutely beautiful, amazing, and you deserve love just like any other person that walks this planet. I love you.